Like if you take this distance from this fence to that barn, and you canter into that fence down there, and you tip the horse's nose in and you roll back,
Right.
and if you roll back, you depart right off into the canter. Come down to this fence, you tip the nose in, you roll
Right.
back. But that is a departure to the canter from the halt. And the energy is going to flow, and you'll get your horse conditioned. You can't repeat that over and over again. Your horse will wear out on you.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a way to develop the understanding of that impulsion needs to kind of explode in a way, needs to get out there right away. And then your legs, of course, are part of that. If your horse will disengage really well, if your horse does a side pass really well, if your horse does a leg yield really well, they will probably do a canter departure really well.
We'll have to work on that. I'm not got it.
Because your canter decision comes from the hindquarter. We see it obviously in the front, but it all happens in the back, and that's where that explosion comes from that pushes that horse. And when you get into your flying leads, there's energy involved. When you go from one lead to the other, your horse is never slowing down when it's changing flying changes. There's always a point. Well, it's always a point of acceleration. They need that acceleration to be able to give the change. So first you want to go from the trot to the canter, and then that canter, it can't be where the trot gets faster and faster in canter. So you want to be able to have that energy be collected so that it can move off into that decision. And so by trying to get it out of the, particularly if you're trying right now to get it out of the standstill, he's got to willing to give it to you from the second step of the trot. And if he's not, then you want to work on that. Any questions? Anybody? Okay, let's get on the horses.